Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on one thing, single barrels. Best of all, you can try before you buy. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution so you know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and who from the industry may be coming in to visit. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. We are also sponsored by the Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers traveling minibars that are no bigger than a small purse or toiletry bag. Best of all, they are fully customizable so you can create the perfect piece that is unique for you. If you own your own business, what a fun and unique way to promote what you do. Check them out online at thebar2go.com. That is the number 2 in the Bar to Go. If you have wholesale questions, call my friend Isabel Clark at 504-481-1297. Finally, we are sponsored by the Neeley Family Distillery. NFD is a family-owned business that keeps ringing up awards in the spirits world. Head to Sparta, Kentucky to experience the family history, award-winning spirits, and meet the Neeley family. Check them out online at neeleyfamilydistillery.com. Now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we talk about the Neeleys, mine, hard work to change legislation in Tennessee. My name is Miss Beka Sue, Colonel Miss Beka Sue. Please join me in welcoming my co-host Steve Akeley, as well as our special guests, Kathy Cool, Jeff Andreezy, and Luca Taro.
Hey gang, what's up?
Hello. Howdy.
Hey, everyone.
Hey, everybody.
Yes. So we got a whole story involved with this one. Pretty funny stuff. We'll get to that after the break. For right now, though, KK said there's something she wanted to talk about. What is that?
We have been doing a lot of distillery tours, and I know you guys have all been on distillery tours. Even Beka runs distillery tours.
Yes.
I want to know about your most uncomfortable experience on a distillery tour.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And then I will share mine.
Okay. I did something called the All-Star Pick. It was a Bourbon's Bistro pick, and it was Mike Veach and a bunch of other people, and then Mike started correcting an Old Forester employee that was given the tour. And I mean, this guy didn't know he knew what Mike Veach was. I'm sure he was nervous to begin with, and then Veach has questioned him on his accuracy of things he's saying, and he's just saying what he's been told to say. And again, some of that stuff, in terms of history is always questionable when you're talking about the heritage distilleries. And Veach is just correcting the guy, and I mean, it was uncomfortable. So because I don't want to stop Veach, I don't want to correct him, I don't want to go to bat for the tour guide. I also feel the pain of the tour guide. So yeah, that was my most uncomfortable distillery tour.
Yeah, but don't you think Veach lives for that stuff?
Of course, yes. Oh yeah, yeah. He yells at me and corrects me for everything I say. So yeah, I'm sharing a barbecue recipe. I think he'd correct me. I mean, no, it's not. It's two cups of brown sugar, not a cup and a half on that. But this is my recipe. Yeah.
I'll say distillery tours. I shouldn't have been uncomfortable, but I was a bit, and I'd already been to Jack Daniels, but I went with Steve and some others to do a barrel pick and the tour. I just felt a bit intimidated by the knowledge that was in our small group. So it wasn't a bad thing. I just remember going through there just feeling a bit intimidated. That's probably my worst distillery tour. The rest been awesome. Steve intimidated me, and Fosnot, and the Racks, and Von Nieders. Oh my God, he was all Von Nieders. No, I'm kidding, but I just remember that thinking, I don't want to ask a question because I'm getting to know these guys, and they already think I'm a doofus. I don't want to be a big old doofus.
Oh, we thought you were a hipster doofus.
Hipster doofus.
Doofus. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Don't be afraid to put yourself out there as a doofus.
Right. You can talk about Pop-Tart bowls.
Actually make bowls.
I kind of live for that. That's really my thing. But that's just I've had quite a few tours and a lot more to come. I hope. But that's for me. That was the one that was probably the most uncomfortable. I don't know if that was the question, uncomfortable or.
Yeah.
It was. Wow. Beka, uncomfortable tour?
So
many.
It depends. For the most part, they're pretty good. This is actually kind of funny. But the most uncomfortable one was uncomfortable for two separate reasons. And it was at Papa Pilar's when we did our barrel pick down there, Steve.
Right. Yeah, I remember
back in 2020. And the reason why is not my husband at the time was like making little like jabs at the distiller. Like saying things, and I was like, what a fucking douchebag.
Right.
I was like, why is he doing this? Like, leave this poor guy alone.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, oh my God. I'm like, this dude.
He's a big old doucher.
Trying to impress you,
Wow.
He was one step away from pulling your hair, but
I was just like, oh God. I was like, this guy, like, stop, like just because he's more knowledgeable than the guy.
Right.
And so I get it to a point, but I was just like, God, just stop saying stuff. But the other reason it was uncomfortable was I was super allergic to the rum. And so the more we drank, the sicker I was getting. I was like super allergic to it, and I didn't really think I would be. And so I was like trying not to vomit the entire time that we were picking out a barrel.
God,
I had to
leave.
I had to
That would have
leave
been epic.
and go. I went and stood in the bathroom for like 15 minutes. I was like, I have to go to the bathroom because I was gonna puke, and I didn't puke. But I was like literally getting sicker and sicker from whatever was in their rum. Like there's just some rums that I'm like super allergic to. And I was just becoming more and more allergic, obviously, because I kept drinking it. And when we were all leaving, Royce had actually stepped to the side. Here's the other part. You guys took fucking forever to leave. We're standing there talking, yapping. And like, I get it. It makes sense. But as someone who is actively trying to not puke, it was the fucking worst. I'm just like, we got to get the fuck out of here. And finally we're going out the door. I was sat next to Royce, and so him and I had been chatting. And he waited for me. He stepped to the side of the door when everyone was walking out to talk to me. And he said something. And I was like, yeah, all right, see ya. And I just fucking took off.
Right.
And he didn't know why.
Sure.
I took off because I was going to find my brother so we could get an Uber to get back to the hotel so I could puke my fucking guts out. And of course, at that point, 3 fucking cruise lines had landed. And so cell phone service didn't work. And so getting an Uber was almost impossible. As we did finally get one, we're going back and I'm just holding on to my legs as tight as I can, just trying to concentrate on not vomiting. I ran in that fucking door of our hotel room and I puked for like 2 hours straight.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, that's uncomfortable.
So super uncomfortable.
So Beka, I'm just going to comment here. If this were on video, if these shows were on video or live or whatever, it was very ironic or interesting to see. You're talking about the most uncomfortable as you're in your little chair, couch. You've got this swan feather blanket. You've got the kitty in your lap. You look so comfortable talking about the most uncomfortable moment on a tour.
That's how it is.
It's perfect irony.
It's perfect.
Exactly.
Yeah. Luke, how about you?
It was the first Kentucky Bourbon Affair that I went to. Actually, the War Department was with me.
Mm-hmm.
We did the barrel pick at Jim Beam, and Fred and Freddie know. Steve, I don't think you were on that one.
No.
And there was 3 barrels and 20 people, and then there was just this one tater who was just
oh my God, I bet his name was Chet. I remember him from the Kentucky Bourbon Affair.
It may have been, but he was just Fred and Freddie had their shtick. They know what to say, when to say it. It's all comes out so naturally, and he was just interrupting and disruptive, and I felt uncomfortable because these two are the best in the business.
Right.
Best. And others were trying to just get the moment out of that. Really
Yeah.
good situation.
People turn it to make it about them, which is
yeah. So
it's not about them at all.
fortunately, we didn't see that tater for the rest of the week, but that was my uncomfortable moment, Kathy.
That's a good one. I mean, not as good as like practically puking over your future husband.
Yeah. Also, I will say, I think that Royce was trying to impress me.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
But-
Oh,
Sure.
that's exactly.
That
Sure.
was the opposite of what he was doing when he was doing that. And also,
Really?
since then, he's been like, he always is like, I just can't believe people that are like, make these tour guides look like, try to make them look dumb. And I'm just thinking back, I'm like, I remember a time.
Right.
growth. We call that professional growth.
That's
Becca.
growth.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But I think he was trying to impress me. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Well.
It worked.
Yeah, Kathy.
yeah, I
did you
guess
say
it
yours?
fucking worked.
Yeah. Kathy, did you say yours or not? I can't remember.
No, I haven't. So we went to a distillery that is almost open.
Okay.
So they're really close to being open. So they've started tours, but they're not distilling, they're not fermenting anything. So it's kind of like a little bit of a construction zone. And we've got retired gentleman tour guide. And there are 5 of us on the tour. And we're going through stuff. Everything is really cool. It's all very nice. He's taking us through tastings, and then we go through different places. Well, when we go up to look at the fermentation tanks, we go up a set of stairs. It's probably 2.5 stories. It's up there. And so we're looking around, and there's a ladder laying on the grate that we're walking on, laying flat.
Okay.
And he turns around, and when he's telling us, be careful of the ladder, poor retired guy sticks his foot right in there, starts falling.
Oh.
I'm seeing like the rails that are gonna he's either gonna go through and fall to the ground, or he's gonna take him
To his untimely
down.
death.
And I'm like, this guy's dying.
God.
This guy's dying right in front of me. And everyone else is like, oh no. And it takes him forever to fall because he keeps putting his feet like in
Sure.
different rows.
Almost
of-
catching himself. Yeah.
So he finally just lets it go and he hits the ground, or he falls in the ladder. We all go and we help him up, and we're like, you okay? And he's scraped his arm, and he's black and blue today, and he's really uncomfortable. And then the rest of the tour, like he wants to continue, and it took 10 minutes. He was like, and now we're going here, and now we're going here. And he just rushed through that whole thing. But to see someone almost like fall 30 feet was really
That
uncomfortable.
poor guy. I bet he was so shook up and was just trying to keep it
He was
together.
just trying to hold it
Oh
together.
my God.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
was so mad because he's like, why don't you guys go look over there? And then he walks back to where the ladder is. He tips it up on his side and he drags it across that metal grate as loud as he can because the construction crews are in there. They can hear this. And he slams it against the things, and we're like, yeah, that we were really worried. And he's like, yeah, this and that. So he had been carrying in his pocket a 5x7 framed prescription that his grandmother gave him like 51 years ago.
Oh, from Prohibition.
And the glass had broken in his pocket.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
And so we get back to the main place, and he's pulling glass out of his pocket.
That's Wiener.
Yep, that comes out.
And so, it was just so, it was really an uncomfortable tour.
Yeah. Yeah, that is uncomfortable. Sounds like the Jay Leno thing. Did you guys hear about that?
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What
You seen
happened?
those
So
pictures?
I've got the whole thing. I got the whole, because I was confused at first. So Jay Leno is going to some event or something like that. He's staying at a Hampton Inn. Which, why would you have Jay Leno's money? Why are you staying at a
Isn't he
Hampton
worth like $1 billion?
Right. So Jay decides he's got to go to dinner before this event, and you can either walk. Well, he should have. First of all, why not Uber or driver or whatever? But it's like 1.5 miles away if you walk down the road, or you can walk down the embankment and you go basically right to the restaurant. Well, he decides to go down this embankment, which is a 60-foot drop. He loses his footing and falls and rolls all the way down this 60-foot.
Oh my God!
Breaks like his wrist and bruised
face
up his
is
face and all that.
His face looked horrible.
Yeah. And he still did the show, by the way. He's because he's like, well, I committed to do the show. You got to do the show. Yeah,
He's worth almost $500 million.
$500 million. And
Why is he not just retiring?
right. Why
are
you
you
put yourself on
staying
the?
at
Well, you got to go on the
Hampton
road instead of Hampton Inn. I mean, come on.
On a yacht. Like, just go stay on a yacht somewhere.
Right. Just have
Just
fun.
retire.
Right. It's the craziest thing. Yeah.
That's nuts.
It is.
Does he have a wife?
He does. Well, and she's dealing with like dementia, so he's like her caretaker too.
Oh God!
Jeez.
Well,
And
the
he
article I
was
saw
burned
said
in a garage fire.
Yeah, and he was in like a motorcycle accident or something. He's had like 3 bad accidents in the last 3 years.
Yeah.
the article
He seems
I
like a good
saw-
guy. I like Jay Leno as a person, but what the hell's he doing? Why?
There's so many conspiracy theories about this, and it's like, oh my God, no.
No.
He fell. He's
He
old.
just fell.
What
He's
kind of
old. He's like
conspiracy
76 or
theory can there
something.
be?
Yeah. What are the conspiracy theories, Jeff? Are they saying someone pushed him?
Somebody pushed him?
Howard
Nah,
Stern
he
pushed him.
was in on. He's trying to tie it to some of these nasty. I'll just say the whole
Oh, God.
P. Diddy thing.
Oh,
Someone's trying to off him.
Interesting.
I just. Are you kidding?
Weird. No, I think he just is exactly what it sounds like there. He's cheap and decided to walk down the embankment, try to walk down the embankment, and and then you see it. If you go on YouTube, they'll show it to you. It's like straight down. I bet you a 20-year-old would have a hard time going down there. And the guy's like 76. Yeah,
or 74 is what he is. He's
74.
74.
Or so,
But that's regardless. 70s, like you shouldn't be doing that.
right. Yeah.
I wouldn't do it, and I'm not 74.
Or have his net worth. I mean, he could clearly get a driver to take him that mile and a half. Well, he doesn't need to be trying to walk down an embankment like that. So I don't know. Weird.
Yeah.
So, all right. On that note, guess what? It's time to drink. What is everyone drinking? We're going to start this time with Luke Otero. He's been robbed two times in a row, he feels. Let's see what he's got this time.
I've got 2 appeals into the process already.
Right.
So, legitimate ones. But I've got Heaven Hill Grain to Glass, the weeded one.
Okay. Kathy's chair was squeaking over yours. Yeah. So that could hurt you. You have the lead. We did hear something there. I tried my first Heaven Hill Grain to Glass at the ABV Barrel Shop the other day. We had a little get together in the speakeasy. And remember all that? It was the rye bourbon, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was what I had. I thought it was good. It was good, solid. So I liked it. All right. Kathy looks ready to go, so we're going to let her go.
I'm going to open up General Custard
Oh, okay.
from Neeley.
Neeley. Okay, that's our lead right now. That was very good, very good. Probably going to be enough. I would surmise, but we'll see what happens. Jeff is next.
I have a bottle of Quirky or Toasted Blend from our friends at Dancing Goat.
Okay. Oh, Beka, who has the lead? That's as close as can be right there. Kathy or Jeff?
I honestly, I think Kathy does on this
Okay.
one.
Okay. Jeff, there's nothing you can do there.
Our
rule is
when you throw it to somebody,
that's the rule. You have to abide by it. There's no appeal after that. There's been an appeal. There's no further place. It's like our judges are like the Supreme Court. That's the end of the line. There's no more.
I'm good with that.
So, all right, Beka, you're next.
I've got some Weller Full Proof.
Okay. Okay. No, Kathy still has the lead. Some are saying, well, Jeff actually has the lead, but he doesn't. He lost his appeal there. All right, Wollersheim, the Curiosity Collection. All right, here we go. Oh, that's bad. Not even in play on this one. So
I'm
I tried to make it a
Steve.
three-peat.
I thought you would vote yourself through.
Ridiculous.
I'm Steve Akeley, and I think I won that one.
I think Steve won, actually.
Cheers, gang.
Cheers.
Cheers, everyone.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, we're going to be talking about Beka getting into some Tennessee lawmaking. We'll do that in just a few. Okay, let's talk about the people that make these shows happen. First up is the Stave and Thief Society. Via their in-person class at Moonshine University in Louisville, Kentucky, the Stave and Thief Society is the place where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge an executive bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my executive bourbon steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Speaking of executive bourbon steward certification, the ABV Barrel Shop in St. Louis, Missouri has developed a unique partnership with the Stave and Thief Society to offer a preparatory class to assist you in getting your executive bourbon steward certification. This prep class costs only $25 and is available to take live or online via Zoom. Graduates of our class receive a coupon code good for 15% off your executive bourbon steward certification held in Louisville, Kentucky. This saves you almost $90. Additionally, you can collaborate with fellow attendees to split travel costs when you go to Louisville. If you're interested in signing up for the class, simply head over to abvbarrelshop.com and check out the classes and events page. Last but not least, we are sponsored by Neeley Family Distillery. Royce Neeley is the 11th generation distiller in one of America's oldest distilling families. A visit to Neeley Family Distillery takes you through family history, where you can see all the artifacts and newspaper clippings through the years from this family that started distilling in America after James Neeley arrived from Northern Ireland in 1740. Today, Royce Neeley and his team are crafting some of the best spirits in America. Their bourbon and absinthe offerings keep winning top honors in the spirits competitions. Recently, their absinthe made history as the first platinum winner in the absinthe category at the San Francisco Spirits Competition. Neeley Family Distillery is definitely a bucket list destination if you are a bourbon fan. Learn more about their spirit offerings, visiting their facility, and the awards they have collected over at NeeleyFamilyDistillery.com. And now, back to the show.
This is Danny Kennard, which is turning into Freddie Mills. Y'all have a good fucking day, because this is the Bourbon Daily. Thank you.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we're talking about me being a lawmaker.
Yes, we are. So this all comes about when I'm researching for a show. And I see someone talking about trying to change Tennessee shipping laws. And I was like, that's not worthy enough for a show. I don't. But then they do the little thumbnail, and in the little thumbnail, the little picture that's taken from within the article, it's a picture of Papaw. And I thought, why the heck would Papaw be the thumbnail on something talking about Tennessee whiskey and shipping laws? So I thought, I'm going to click on this and read it. And then I started reading it. I'm like, oh God, Beka's got a quote in here. So Beka.
I had 2 paragraphs.
2 paragraphs.
Yeah. So, Beka, how does all this come about? How are all of a sudden you are involved in this Tennessee whiskey thing and then trying to help them get shipping into the state?
So a reporter called the distillery, and I am the person that I am the answerer of the phone.
Right.
So if you call the distillery, you're going to talk to me. I probably shouldn't say that on air, but if you call the distillery, it's me. That's
Jim
who you're going to
Gokin
talk to.
calling 3 times,
Yes.
trying to, Beka, please call me back. Beka,
Calling
please.
to apologize.
Beka, please.
So I answer the distillery phone.
Yeah.
And so this reporter called and she said, hey, I'm a reporter, blah, 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 from Tennessee. And I wanted to talk to a Kentucky distillery about shipping in Tennessee. And I was like, okay. And I was like, so like, what do you need? And she's like, well, like, who could she's like, I need to talk to someone that's like part of the distillery. I said, well, yeah, you can talk to me then. And so she just started asking me some questions, and she was like, is it okay, like, if you're like quoted in our, I said, yeah, whatever, that's fine. Because I wasn't going to pass this on to Royce, because like Royce doesn't have time to do that. And he
Right.
would have been like, what the fuck do I care about Tennessee laws?
Right.
Because he's not a Kentucky colonel is the reason why.
Yeah, he's just angry. Yeah.
Yeah. So he would have been like, what's that have to do with me?
Just think if this gets passed, Becky, you could become a Tennessee squire too.
Exactly.
Right. You're on the
Like,
verge here. It feels.
I'm on a change.org
Right.
petition.
Yeah.
And so she asked me some questions, and she said, can I call you if I've got any more? And I said, yeah, here's my email. And so like her and I like emailed back and forth a few times. She was like she's like, I need to get a photo. And she said, you have a photo? And I was like, yeah. She's like, can you send me the photo that you guys have in there? And I was like, yeah, sure. Why not? So I sent her the photo, from the distillery, of Papaw. And it says that, remember, we can't ship. So buy what you want now, or whatever it says.
Right.
And I gave her the best quote in there, though, Steve, was I said, people in Tennessee love Kentucky bourbon.
I know.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah.
And that was a very intentional wording of how I said that.
Right.
That was 1,000% intentional, and exactly how
And it went in there like that.
it read. That's honestly, I couldn't believe she put it in there like that.
Right.
Because I didn't think she would.
But she's just a reporter, not someone
Exactly,
who's
she
a
would
whiskey
know.
fan. Right.
Like that was a jab
Right. Right.
at
And that was
Tennessee whiskey.
that was a knockout punch. I loved it.
Yeah.
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 Have you been banned from Tennessee?
She might be.
I'm either gonna become a squire or I'm gonna get fucking banned
Right.
from Tennessee. I don't know which yet.
Either or, it's a badge of honor.
Yeah, exactly. So that was my little that was my Kentucky Colonel jab that I threw in there.
Should this get passed, this is big for the state
It
of
should.
Kentucky, then.
And-
because
and
Tennessee is a great whiskey state. There's a lot of whiskey drinkers there, and,
Yeah.
and if they can then get it shipped in there, that would be a big thing. And now this lady's started the petition, and Becca's part of that, and it
Yeah,
could change.
I think it's a big deal because we do get a lot of phone calls of people asking to ship stuff to them, and I have to tell them no, and they go, "What do you mean no?" And I'm
Right.
like, "Oh no, someone's never heard the fucking word no in their life."
Right.
And so then I have to explain to them that like it's against the law to ship,
Yeah.
and they go, "What? Well, like, I mean, can't you just
We
like,
get into that stuff too because we don't ship, and then they'll be like, "Well,
Yeah,
this
they
other
go, "Well,
liquor store
can't-"
does."
they go,
"Well,
"Well,
yeah, they're
can't
doing
you
it
just-
illegally." Yeah.
Can't you just do it like ship like just take it to the post office?" It's like, I don't think you fucking understand like all the things that go into this. Like, well, and they go, "Well, I'm not going to turn you in," and it's like that's not what's gonna happen. Like that's not how it happens. Like, for one, I don't know you,
Right.
and so I don't know if you are a Fed calling to see if I'll ship you stuff.
Right.
For two,
And they do
like,
that stuff too.
yeah, and they do that shit all the time. They're always trying to trick you into things like that. And so like we don't know you personally, we don't know you at all. So like we're not going to do that because that's how you get caught. And they're like, "Well, we're not going to rat on you." It's like, "Okay, well, it maybe isn't you ratting on us. It could be something happens with the package and alcohol spills out and then something gets reported to the cops in some sort of a way."
Right.
Like shipment things through like wherever. Like there's a lot of things that go into it. It's not just a matter of
Oh, yeah.
oh, you don't want to ship me something. It's like, no, like we can't get in trouble for something that's,
Right.
your $175 doesn't make a huge difference to us in the end of the day because it could cost us like everything.
Right.
Like we
Yeah, that's
do
what people don't
want-
understand.
Yeah, we want your support, and trust me, I hate telling people no.
Right.
Absolutely hate telling people no and say, I'm sorry, I can't. And they get like just pissed off.
I get the
at me
same
about it.
thing.
They get
And
they get
they don't
fucking
realize
mad
if
at
I
me.
get caught doing that, I lose my liquor license.
they get
if I don't have
mad
a
at
liquor license, I'm out of business.
Yeah, they get mad like it's my fault that I've done something wrong. And so when they get pissed off, I go, "Well, if this ever comes up in your state legislature, like you need to vote yes to ship.
Right.
Like you need to like this is something that you have to do in your own state." Because like we can't personally change it. Now I'm personally changing it, of course, But
Right. Of course you
most
are.
people can't personally change this stuff.
Most people can't. They're helpless, but unlike you.
Unlike me, I start, a change.
Once you get involved, it's going to change. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
exactly.
matter of time. It's not if it's going to happen. It's when at this point.
Now it is when. Yeah, for sure.
Anyone that wants to sign the petition goes to change.org/TNS spirits. I've signed it.
Okay. There you go.
Anyone can sign it.
And you don't need to be a,
Do not need to
Tennessee
be
resident?
from Tennessee to do it.
okay.
You can be from anywhere in the United States to sign the petition for shipping laws in Tennessee.
Just think,
go
all
sign
right,
it.
let's play a game for a second. This happens. The KDA gets wind of this. They realize how big this is. All the distillers are like, thank you. This is amazing. And they realize that Beka's done it. All of a sudden, next year, Beka goes into the Kentucky Bourbon Hall of Fame.
Holy crap.
Could you imagine? Royce would die. He'd be the next story we'd hear. We'd hear Beka goes into the Kentucky Bourbon Hall of Fame. Next story is Royce Neeley dead at 35.
Kentucky Colonel goes into Kentucky Bourbon Hall of Fame for getting shipping laws changed in Tennessee.
I see a movie.
In other words,
Can you
yeah.
imagine? He's already like, I don't know why you're a colonel. And I'm like, because I've done a lot of work for Kentucky.
Right.
And he's like, you've never done
telling you,
like,
this would kill
you've
him.
never
That
done
would kill him.
anything for Kentucky. And I'm like, haven't I? I've committed every Sunday to Kentucky.
There you go.
I've
Royce
done a lot.
Neeley dead at 35.
Oh my God. He would
Yeah.
he would fucking lose it.
He
Can you
would.
imagine?
Oh my God! It'd be like you coming to the
get
ceremony.
that gun
Where are we
down.
going? Yeah. Beka getting to the ceremony.
Or
just accolades from
is there a Tennessee Whiskey Hall of Fame?
Sure.
Oh,
That would be fun. That actually would be. I mean, it's not as cool, but it would be actually really
Right.
funny. Like I go into the Tennessee Whiskey Hall of Fame for helping change the laws.
Yeah.
That would actually be
Beka, you made a
even
difference.
funnier.
You made a difference.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I put my foot down about what it is and why they need to change.
Right.
The
Yeah.
people are confused, upset.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm a lobbyist.
taking a stand.
You are a lobbyist.
You
Yeah.
should. So I didn't know that article was out yet, and I didn't know how much she quoted from me in it.
Right.
And Steve called Royce, and we're in fucking Menards, okay? When this all happens, we're in
I'm like,
Menards.
what the
Saving
fuck
good
is
I'm
going
walking
on?
around with handfuls. Like I didn't get a basket. I didn't get a cart. I'm
Like,
just walking
what's
around with
going on
handfuls
here?
of Christmas stuff. And I walk up to Royce, and he's on the phone, and he goes, "Did you talk to a fucking reporter?" And I'm like, "Oh fuck! Did I talk to a reporter?" And I'm just thinking, "Son of a bitch! What did I say to a fucking reporter?"
Right. Oh yeah.
I'm going, oh, and I'm thinking, like, racking my head in those, like, just couple seconds, like, oh, God, what did I do? And I said, what? He goes, you're in this article. And I go, oh, yeah, I did talk to her.
Yeah.
But you told the reporter that Tennessee loves Kentucky bourbon.
Exactly.
So you haven't done nothing wrong.
No, I did everything right.
Exactly.
And
Yeah,
she quoted that quote in the
that
article.
was the best part of the article.
All right.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
absolutely it was. So,
Yeah. It goes on a Tennessee publication. That's kind of embarrassing.
I know.
Tennessee.
That's how you know
Fucking
that.
embarrassing.
I bet that those guys. So what's even funnier yet is whoever. I don't
Yeah,
even.
there's
I
like
didn't
a
even.
guy spearheading it, the whole
Yeah,
thing.
the guy who spearheaded this stuff,
Yeah.
like owns a distillery in Tennessee.
You're right. He's got to be livid. Like,
And
what
so
the fuck
he's
is
like,
this?
oh, sweet. My article finally came out. And it's got a picture of Papa, not even him on it. Okay.
Right. Right.
Like, okay, whatever. At least it has like some like shipping things on it. And then he's like reading through. He's like, yeah, I sound great. And then he gets down to Kentucky Distillery.
Yeah.
Tennessee loves Kentucky bourbon.
Right.
I bet he fucking was pissed.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I bet he was fucking pissed about that.
But
Little
you're
quote
only
I-
trying to give him what he wants.
Exactly. Yeah, Kentucky bourbon.
Yep.
You should, Beka, find someone to ship this guy a couple bottles. You know what? I might even sponsor that effort.
You sponsor the effort. Well, that's nice. Yeah. So there you go. If you're willing to ship a couple bottles to this guy, let us know. And Jeff will pay you back. He'll reimburse.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Limit of one person.
One person. Okay. All right.
Just starting to think about what he just said.
Yeah, I
Right.
know.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
It was a good article, all in all.
It was.
And it was fun to be quoted in an article.
fucking hilarious. I click on this thing with no idea. I'm like, what is going on?
It's funnier yet you found it just searching whiskey on Google and that popped up. That's the funniest thing.
I would have not clicked on the article had it not been for the thumbnail of Papaw, because I was like, what is this? Why is he on
this?
Yeah.
It's fucking hilarious.
It is. It is. So,
Royce just couldn't believe it. He was just like, oh my God. And I'm like, I didn't say anything bad. Like I said, all good things.
You're making a difference. Yeah, all good things. You made Kentucky look good. So, yeah.
Exactly.
You did good. You did good. Once again, earning your colonel.
Exactly. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Once
Promoting
again,
the state. The
you've
Commonwealth.
shown why you are a true Kentucky colonel.
Yeah, I'm loyal to Kentucky.
Yeah, so there you go. All right. On that note, we're going to wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. Jeff, we'll start with you. Where can people find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and the Cigar Dojo. Jeff Andreezy, 2 I's and 2 Z's.
KK,
You can find me on Instagram at KK Cast Strength.
Mr. Luke.
You can find me filing 2 appeals on bottle pops for tonight.
We'll see how those go.
And that's Santa Fe Boutique Wines on Instagram.
I'm signing that petition.
Oh, ridiculous. I clearly won those. Miss Beka Sue.
Change.org/Luke1.
Yeah. There'll be a new- yes. Miss Beka Sue, how about you? Where can people find you?
If you want to put me in for a Tennessee Squire, you can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at Miss Beka Sue, 1K, no C's.
All right, for me, I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley, Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got a company website, abvnetwork.com. Check it out. Everything that we do is out there. Previous shows, blogs, so much more, abvnetwork.com. Come by and see us. The ABV Barrel Shop, the place where you can try before you buy. We're online, abvbarrelshop.com. Miss Beka Sue, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I'd just like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review that includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. If you like what we're doing, we ask you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the ABV Network.
Great job today, gang. For audience, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
See you later.
Peace. Before we let you go, let's talk about one last thing. The ABV Barrel Shop in the St. Louis community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on a couple of things. First of all, single barrels. We are the place where single barrels live. We go to distilleries, taste through the whiskey, select the best barrel, and have it shipped to our store where we present it to you, our customers, by allowing you to try before you buy. We're also known for the classes that we have in our education center in the store, as well as the events we have with industry professionals from the bourbon business. If you are in the St. Louis area, please come by and visit us at 6 Fox Valley Center in Arnold, Missouri. Or at a minimum, at least sign up for our email and text distribution so you know exactly what's going on in our shop over at abvbarrelshop.com. This is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network, signing off. We thank you for listening to our programming and truly appreciate your support.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.